Hello Chibsers, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. This one won't take long, unlike the first one which I've binned. ramble on a piece of white plastic. So we're looking at the Royal Fleet Auxiliary Light Tanker Black Rover, which I am scratch building bit by bit. No plan as usual, much like the channel. I am regretting not trying to at least draw one out and then cutting my pieces, to that. I've tried to take a few measurements off the MT Miniatures one. I've already scale crept. This second piece of hull here, you can just see the demarcation line. That should have had about at least a mil taken off it, if not 1.5. This second piece is obviously being added on. I work everything in with as filler with talcum powder and CA glue. It makes a very good filler, but obviously please wear your mask when you're sanding it down if you're going to go down that road. This is so we've scale crept already. It was already a bit broader than the MT Miniatures one, but I had managed to keep it to the correct, well, to their scale until I got to here, and then it's risen slightly. Nothing much I can do now. I'm just working on this flat here, and I put a couple of, I don't know what these rooms, for a better word, are, but they do. I was following there's somebody's done Black Rover on DeviantArt, just a side profile I believe, and I followed that without realising these probably sit back a bit farther, but I've removed them and done them again, and I'm not doing them again. In fact, last time I did them I was actually reducing how much they stuck out. This I believe is the fuel pump to the main tanks. I've put a block in, as you can see, and just put some rod round to represent some type of pipework, because I really just, how many photographs I've looked at trying to look under at this area here, which is always in shadow, you just don't really see anything. I've tried looking down, there aren't that many. I mean, it doesn't have to be Black Rover, it could be either one of her sister ships really, but Black Rover I believe and Gold Rover were the last ones that we had until 2017 I believe. If you don't know that, yes, our government scraps the military literally on a monthly basis. Something else disappears, regiments, aircraft, ships, anything they can cut really. But these were cut. I mean, they were starting to show their age, but they were single holed, and it turns out that oil tankers, fuel tankers, need to be double holed now when they go around the world, and these weren't, so in the end they had to go. But I believe it just helped the defence cuts yet again back in 2017. So yeah, I've done that as just as a block really. I believe that pipe work comes up. I'm trying to get a look at this area here to see if this is actually cut out or not, or if the pipes just come through there'll be a pump. There's like some type of pump, and it looks like it's always covered up with a tarpaulin, so I can't even see that really. But I'm carrying on trying to sift through photographs online and see if I can get a better idea of this area here before I do anything other than put reinforcing pieces in. I put these piers through here, obviously, and they sit back slightly obviously into this piece and go out again. There'll be railings going along here. I've left the space for those, but as I say, they are quite up close to these bulkheads, whatever you want to call them here, and these would, by the look of it, actually sit back farther in, but it's too late now. I'm trying to make it look busy underneath, but not knowing really what is there, because you just can't see. There's like little dull shapes and that, so I'm just trying to, I'll probably put a couple more bits in, but I've got to bear in mind these are for the derricks that hold the, I'm calling them derricks, stanchions, whatever you want to call them, that hold the fuel hoses. And I believe this front one, apart from hanging a load of working lights off it, I believe it might be a tensioner for these two here, and I'll put wires up, so I'll sink that one through as well. There's two short one here which I believe may just have working lights on them, and they I believe may actually come through. They'll come through here somewhere, so I better drill a couple of holes there, because I didn't think that they went all the way through, but they do. Obviously they need to have the strengthening, they can't just tack weld them onto the top of the deck. But I thought these might have just been lamp posts, but I think they may also be tensioners all working into the derrick. Is there anything else to say? Oh, I haven't actually, this one's just been made a couple of nights ago. I have to put the sander on that and sand that down. I should have, and what I planned to do, again, never writing anything down to remind myself, obviously I've got a busted head and my memory's useless, but I was actually, before I put the top deck on, I was going to cut these out and build a small frame behind them, as your anchors are going to sit in here. However, I completely forgot, so I've had to chobble them out, and this area is full of filler, which has actually helped me out. Then I've placed a thinner piece of sheet in there at an angle, and then I'm going to just sand it so it merges in with the rest of the ship, and just tidy the squares off. This is one I've done on this side. It looks a lot better. This one came out nice and tidy, that one was quite rough. But I've got to make some anchors to go in there, and there's also an anchor on the stern. There's a piece that sticks out for the anchor to slide off, so I suppose it doesn't damage any steering gear or the lower part of the stern. But there's like a little ski ramp here on the back for the anchor to fall against and slide off, and then the anchor's here somewhere. But it's not recessed. I believe it just lies flat on the back, but butts up to this ski ramp thing. So that's going to be done. So make the anchors for this. These are a bit prominent. It was the only way I could think of in that they've got like reinforcing pieces for the hawsers to come through. These lighter ones, there'll be some bollards put behind these eventually, but I won't do any part of this deck until the main superstructure's on, and I haven't started that yet, obviously. But these ones appear to tire up to the bollards, I'm calling them, on shore when she's alongside. These ones are the more heavy duty ones, and they're reinforced, as is the front there. And I just need to gently sand those down without taking them off. I did try on this side and made a bit of a mess of it really, so I'm going to try and tidy that up, because they are coated with super glue as well. Put my reinforcing strakes along here. I added a bit extra to the top of this, as you can just about see, because it's not pointed at the front, and it's got a fairly bluff bow. And this big lump at the front here, I believe that is for a towing hawser if the ship's under tow. I believe it is. That comes open and you can tow her from there. So that's what there's for. But yeah, it's quite a bluff bow. But as I say, I do need to work these. I haven't got around to them yet, but I just gently need. That one isn't so bad when it's under paint, but some of these others are a bit thick. And I just made a P shape, put it into the hole, and then put the cocktail stick through, and it splayed it out into a bit of a weld, but it's still just slightly too big. Is there anything else I need to tell you? I don't think there is. So yeah, up and coming next is, before I do anything more under here, I need to get two more holes drilled for these other posts. As I say, I think they're tensioners for this, but they also use them to hang a load of working lights on. And as I say, I'm hoping anyway, once my railings go on, it won't look, and obviously it's all painted dark and everything, it won't be so stark, and hopefully things might look just a tad better than they do. As I say, that bears no real resemblance to what's under there. It was just I could see some pipe work, and I just thought, well, that's all I can do really, stick that on and hope for the best really. At least it's a shape under there. I think people will be more drawn to obviously the upper parts. So eventually there's going to be, from here backwards is your superstructure, obviously a funnel somewhere up here. There's a helicopter deck, but with no hangers. The helicopters can land on and take away stores, because she also, I don't believe it's in the helicopter deck, I believe it's somewhere in the structure, but there's a lift that goes down, and she carries, because she doesn't just carry fuel, she carries dry stores as well, or stores anyway, which come up on a lift, and they can be put in a slung under load to help for helicopters. And she can also carry how many thousand gallons of fresh water. Although most ships, well, all ships I believe, can make their own, she can obviously carry fresh water as well. And I believe she might carry like avcat and avgas for helicopters and jets and stuff, as well as the fuel for the ships themselves. So a lot really nice little ships. That for a first scratch build of this type of thing, I believe it's the right build for me, if that makes sense. I can't get any further back. There we go. It's not too. If this is a light fleet tank, if we used one of our, not that we have a lot, but if I put, and this was built in mid 70s, and the sister ships in the very early 70s. If I put one of our fleet tankers of that time that went through the 80s, 90s into the early 2000s, obviously they're 2 or 3 times the size, and they've got 2 or 3 derricks, and it's really busy, and I think that'd be a ship too far for my skills at the moment. So yeah, just the right size. As I say, they went all around the world, Antarctica, what's the other one? Whatever, South North Pole, let's put it that way. Pacific, you name it. These old girls chugged around the world, supplying the Royal Navy with fuel and keeping the main fleet going. I have got another idea for another. Not I'm take one on at the moment, but when this is absolutely complete, I might well do another Royal Fleet Auxiliary, and that will be RFA Diligence, which was she started life as a civilian Swedish-made oil rig support ship, and her and her sister were converted. I think she had a sister ship converted for military use, and she's not the prettiest ship in the world, but again, she's not big, but she's got a lot. I like the look of her. So yeah. That's as far as we've got on Rover, Black Rover I should say, because she's the Rover class. They all have a colour in front of them: green Rover, blue Rover, gold Rover, black Rover, grey Rover. I think that's them all. And next time you see her, I mean, obviously I'll get all this under area done, get the anchors on, and before I do another video, I'll probably make a start on some of the superstructure, I think. But I just thought I'd show it off and see how far we've got. So thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. That's the second, I believe, update on Black Rover. Thank you. I've put the finished bust of Colonel Hal Moore on the community tab. Some photographs of that. I'm not going to show him on a video until I've actually got a plinth for him. I've got to go through my plinth, so I'll guarantee you I haven't got, because it's a slightly smaller bust than I normally paint. I bet you my other plinths are going to be over scale, and I would like to put it on a nice plinth rather than one of my homemade efforts. So yeah, I'll see if I've got one. If not, I'll have to wait, because I've still got to fill our miniatures Napoleonic, all done, dusted, painted, but not. I haven't got a plinth right scale for it, so I'll have to put an order in. But no, thank you for the kind words for the guys and the likes that people have put down for that. It means a lot. It's nice to see something appreciated, and I really do like that. The Waffen-SS figure stalled only in the sense that I've just not found the time to put. I'm going to put some putty around the base. He's just on a piece of blue foam. I can't throw a lot of money on that one. The print isn't, the sculpt's lovely, but the print's got a lot of layer lines in it and stuff, and I'm not going to that expense to throw an expensive plinth at it. They cost a fair bit of money, the decent wooden ones. So, but he's coming up. It shouldn't take, once I get the putty on, probably tomorrow, it won't take long to put a bit of greenery around him and paint the foam, and then I'll show him off as complete. Oh, and it needs a varnish over him as well, as a matte coat. So that's that. HMS Invincible I shall be working on in a bit to see if we can get her a bit more canning done on her other half. I really need to get these French 28mm War Hispanic Succession based. I've been dragging my feet over those, and get the Bavarians finally finished as well. I've been doing loads of other stuff and not them of late. I have a commission possibly coming in the next month or so on some AB Napoleonic Westphalians. It's for the chap I paint every couple of years for, and he'd like me to do a particular special regiment that started him collecting and gaming that particular side of things, so he'd like that painted. So that's that. Bought myself a second Zero from Edouard, one of the weekenders, 17 quid all in. I thought that was a really good deal, so I ended up buying that one. Wife doesn't think so. It's another box has been added. And yeah, there's some other bits and pieces that'll suddenly appear on that I've been working on behind the scenes, or you haven't seen for months. They'll suddenly appear. So yeah, there'll be bits and pieces. So thank you very much. It's really the sculpting of the 1 in 35 scale figure. He's not forgotten. He's just been sat on the bench. I'll get back to him. He's coming along actually, not too bad. He says. But yeah, I will try and get back to him and give you an update and get a bit more work done on him, and I'll give you an update on him probably towards the end of the week. So look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.